Multiply. Penile fracture. Fun topic, but only for those who haven't broken it. To whoever is watching this video right now, if, my friend, you broke your dick, you are not amused, I think. Funny, huh? That's not funny to me. I'll tell you about this topic. I know a lot about it because my PhD thesis topic was on penile fracture. I even had an African-American man operate on a fractured penis. I even had an astronaut with a fractured penis. So today I'll be brief, but I will hit the target. Naturally, there's no bone in it. It's impossible to break it. In fact, it's a tear in the protein sheath. An erection is caused by blood pooling inside the penis, filling the corpora chambers. And when that happens, the cavernous bodies stretch and become thinner. And in a number of moments, most often, by the way, it's drunk and not with his wife for some reason. Then there's all those embarrassing stories about being bitten by a mosquito. What's important to know is what it looks like externally. It's an eggplant deformity. Characteristics. Sometimes there's a crunch, sometimes there's no crunch. Happens during sex. An unregistered penis if you just kick it. Also, it's impossible to break. Eggplant is not formatted because the dick is starting to look like an eggplant. It's getting bigger, it's getting so scary. I had a case of men in a bathhouse prostituting themselves. One of the friends broke his dick. None of them wanted to go to Moscow. They say, "Here's a jar for you." They gave him a jar of water. He had his dick down there, sitting there. The jar is well small. His dick is swollen, and there's a lot of blowing around in there. It's very mature, Sasha. It, like canned goods, took the shape of a can. Since they couldn't take it off, they brought it right in with that can. And it looked, like a hoon cam when there's going to be something there. Some coal black, the can had to be broken. And Chatin. And there are many such stories. The way the shaker masturbated broke the toilet lid. There was an interesting story, by the way. One of the memorable cases, Turkey. Flying on vacation with my friend Roland. Fly with Karen. Karen, watching this video, hi. Vacation there, all good, going back. And when we went there was some half-assed guy on the plane. It wasn't so strict about drinking back then, and he was yammering, making a lot of noise. On the way back, same thing. He was dropped off. Going to work Monday morning. Rounds, let's go, I'm going into the room. I mean, you can imagine how many institutions there are in Moscow. A lot. How many urology departments are there in these facilities? A lot. How many different urologists are there? A lot. I went into the ward, he was lying there. There's this guy lying there, the one that got dropped off the plane. I realized that I've seen him so glimpses of him that I kind of recognize him and he kind of recognizes me. Turns out he stayed there for another day. Managed to break his dick. And with a fractured penis, he returned to Moscow in a drunken state, called an ambulance. You can imagine that from all over Moscow, they brought him to my ward, to my room, and I became his attending physician. On the one hand, the disease is rare, but it can sometimes happen. The most important thing is not to try to treat it like a broken leg. Arm, the most important thing is to go straight to the hospital. In order for this hematoma to be emptied, most often a circumcision is done to make some of this hematoma from the foreskin go away. The site of the defect is located in the forked sheath and it should be sutured without fail. After the surgery, if done competently, the penis will look like a circumcision just happened. Not immediately, but in 2-3 weeks. If you don't operate, this is the place, the hole in the forked sheath, through which, by the way, all the blood poured out. It first of all can start the fibrosis process, and this fibrosis, this sclerosis, it will go into the cavernous bodies. And program minimum, you can have a curved penis. The program maximum can cause erectile dysfunction to happen because of it. I've had patients who broke their penis 3 times. 3 times. The third time he tore it along with the urethra. The disease is not difficult, actually, in terms of treatment. The most important thing is to go in time. To get treatment in time for the first 24 hours. If, however, in the first 24 hours, you didn't get surgical treatment, maxed out at the beginning of the second day, we should be on day 5, day 7 trying to get treatment. The quality of the surgical treatment you get at the end, it won't give you any benefits. My research has scientifically shown that only those who are operated on the first day get an advantage. Everyone else, unfortunately, only suffers more, agonizes more. If we didn't get you into surgery in time, what do we do? Cold. The second thing besides cold is elastic bandaging sometimes. The third is sexual rest, about a month and a half. Anti-inflammatory drugs, some Nemesil or similar. And sometimes in the first 5-7 days. Sometimes antibiotics if the rupture was along with the urethra. Or some uroseptic, any absolutely broad spectrum. So, as the popular proverb says, you can break a dick with a fool. Stay tuned for new releases. Subscribe to the Telegram feed. I will leave the link to the Telegram feed below this issue.